Tick, 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 boom. Start with that.
I'm a werewolf.
From the makers of Animal House and the Blues Brothers comes a movie you can really sink your teeth into.
Oh, be serious, would you?
Proudly brought to you by Wattle, an American werewolf in London.
Excuse me.
Is the most fun you'll ever have being scared. The Academy Award-winning An American Werewolf in London, Wednesday at 8:30 on Channel 10.
There's a lesson there. Don't edit on mute. I forgot I added music and then edited it.
Oh, how are you?
Little janky. But good evening, Darren.
Good evening, sir. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Now, it's nice to have a guest that's got class and is English and not a foreigner, a Rod North or anything like that. So very honoured.
Thank you very much. Long time coming. I know we've been followers of each other for a good 4 years. I think we started our channels around the same time. It would be, wouldn't it?
Sounds like that's about right.
Yeah. It's been a while now. It's been a while, and I know I always remember seeing your Instagram pages with all the various kind of just VHS covers and old adverts and things like that. And I've been kind of following it ever since. So. Good to see you, sir, and thank you very much for having me on.
Well, yes, like you say, on and off trying to do something, and then, of course, I thought, Werewolf Month, who else is there? I was going to watch, what is it, the 1980 Werewolf film directed by John Landis, Thriller.
Oh.
No?
No. This film was the inspiration for Thriller, I think, a lot of it. So, a lot of that. Yeah.
But yes, we'll do this one instead.
Wow, you have the original VHS. I do not own that. I've got so many copies of it out there, but I did crack out my Arrow 4K American Werewolf in London box set here with all sorts of books and lobby cards and all that kind of stuff. Cram packed full of commentaries and extra features and all that kind of thing. I think there's also the Paul Davis documentary. Paul Davis, shout out to Paul Davis, who's an American werewolf aficionado who I met last year and spent some time with at For the Love of Horror. Also put together this amazing book, which I think it's quite rare now, but Beware the Moon, which has a ton of, it's just a proper encyclopedia on the movie. It really is. Well worth a purchase if you can get hold of it. But yeah. He's the go-to guy, and he's British as well. So tall. Have you ever met him? Have you ever seen him? Even he is huge. He's like 6'8" or something.
Bloody hell.
But he's the go-to guy for American Werewolf. So it was a pleasure to spend some time with him last year at For the Love of Horror and talk all things American Werewolf.
Well, that's a good point. So who's the aficionado on the American Werewolf in Paris?
I'm glad you got that commentary out of the way last week. Jesus Christ, because you actually did joke to me and you said, do you want to do London or Paris? And I was like, please. Do you know what? I've only seen the movie twice. I saw American Werewolf in Paris once when it came out, and then I kind of years later I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to check in on this and just see if it is as bad as I remember. And yeah, shit. It's not good at all, is it? I know it has its fans, but it's not what we wanted for an American Werewolf.
Yeah, Wolfman's got nods, does like it.
Yeah, Barry's odd like that, though. He does kind of like go against the grain sometimes. But I love him to bits. But we have to disagree on that one, Barry, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I saw an interview when I was going through the stuff, and I thought, okay, give it a chance. But no, he's wrong.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
So, Franz is here. Blue Moon.
Hey, Franz, Ian, who
The
else?
song that was supposed to be played at the beginning is Cat Stevens' song. Moon Shadow, wasn't it?
Yeah, apparently so.
But yeah, he'd already converted and didn't appreciate being linked to that.
And we have Gene as well. Hey, Gene.
Gene Whitcomb. Hello.
And Michael Myers says, "I will not be threatened by a walking meatloaf." That's a great line.
There's going to be a lot of quotes tonight.
Yeah.
Yes, the Brecon Beacons. That's what I've been there twice now in the last 5-10 years.
Oh, really?
Have you been there?
I have. I went to the reason why I went was oh god, it's a festival. It's a literary festival.
Oh, the Hay-on-Wye one.
What's it called? Sorry,
Hay-on-Wye.
No.
Next to that.
Oh God Almighty, what's it called now?
Hang up then.
A literature festival in oh God. And we went through the Brecon Beacons to get there. It's a really famous one that they put on TV now and again.
Brecon Jazz.
Brecon Jazz, maybe. No, it wasn't. What do they call it now? Oh God! But I tell you why I went, because I work for Sony Pictures, and we took Roland Emmerich with the movie Anonymous. Do you remember Anonymous?
No.
Okay, so Anonymous was like a passion project of his that he did in around about, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago or something like that, which was in between doing 2012 and the Independence Day resurgence thing. And he did this kind of thing about Shakespeare called Anonymous with Rhys Ifans. It was actually really, really quite interesting and really quite epic and grand looking. Not many people saw it though.
No.
And we took him to this literary festival near the Brecon Beacons, and I can't remember the name of it now.
It'll come to you halfway through the
love
film.
of God. Let me just Google. I'm going to Google it. You talk. I'm going to Google it.
I'll talk. I'll talk to Turn the Blue Iris. Everyone, evening. How is everyone? There's going to be a lot of puns tonight. Oh, the Hay Festival. Or is it just Hay?
Hay Festival? It could be the Hay Festival.
Hay-on-Wye's got all the books, but there is a Hay Festival.
It could be the Hay Festival. Was it the Hay Festival? Anyway, yeah, whatever. I know Sky used to broadcast, from the festival and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, anyway. But yeah, we went there with him, and it was, and Brecon Beacons were beautiful because we drove all the way sort of through and around or whatever, and yeah, beautiful place. And will kill you if you set foot in there. From what I gather, the SAS use it for a lot of.
Yes, Hereford down the road, is that where the SAS train?
That's right. Yeah.
Yomp around the Brecon Beacons for days.
Yeah. Tough terrain. Tough terrain.
Yeah, there's a little hill, and you'll see it in the film where we climbed up, and it was an effort.
Yeah. It was. Somebody's just told me behind me now. It was the Hay Festival. That was it. It was the Hay Festival.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hello, Nicholas. Gene loves this movie, and so we should. Well, where was it? Someone said, top five favorite films. Because there you go. But I was going to say, are there more than five good werewolf films?
Well, you have obviously American Werewolf in London, which I hold as number one. The Howling, I can't decide whether it's in top 2 or 3. But there are essences of werewolf movies within other movies, so kind of like anthology movies that I really enjoy as well, like Waxwork.
Oh yes,
which I enjoy the werewolf scene in that.
Pulls off Patrick Macnee's head, doesn't it?
He does. There's also what was the other one? Frank is a huge fan of Wolf, which I kind of like as well. The Jack Nicholson movie.
It's a bit different.
God, I love that they're all that. Do you have them categorized into? Have you got them all set out?
I've got X Rentals, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween's, then 80s, 90s, early 2000s.
What werewolf films?
No, just horror
Oh,
films.
just I was going to say.
There's not that many
Shakespeare
horror
films.
howling. Well, yeah, they're upstairs. Some of them now, unfortunately, for tomorrow night's show.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And then you've got things like the Benicio del Toro one, the last one that Rick Baker did, which is
one
kind
of
of fun.
that and this.
And then obviously Company of Wolves that Neil Jordan did not long after American Werewolf in London, a couple of years after, which is a little dated now, but still has some of that kind of fun SFX in there, and it's a British movie as well, so that's great. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to Wolfman early next year. I got a lot of hope in that because I just think that Lee Winnell's the right guy for it. And he did an amazing job on Invisible Man. He did an amazing job on, even his Insidious movies are decent. But also, if you ever saw a movie called Upgrade that he did.
Oh, yes.
Which is just terrific. And it's everything that a certain Marvel movie that came out around that time should have been. I think Lee Winnell's the right guy to pull this off, and I thought the teaser trailer was terrific. And everybody that thinks that guy at Halloween Horror Nights or whatever at Universal,
whatever that was,
whatever that was, that's nothing to do with the film.
I didn't think that. People are getting upset about that already.
Yeah. But no, I'm looking forward to this. I haven't watched it in about a year, so this should be fun.
All right, let me cue up the VHS, warm that up.
Cue up the VHS.
It's warming up. Play. Right, so there we go.
It's warming up.
It's a cathode ray tube. There we go. So this starts a bit different. It says for Jim O'Rourke on this one.
It does.
So
are we
now to catch up with the Universal? Right, there we go.
Okay.
So if you
let me know when I should press play.
So I said 4 seconds.
4 seconds in.
Yeah, and I'm behind already. Yeah. Never mind. Put the tape on.
Should I press play?
Yep, now.
Cool.
Then you should have the Universal logo.
That's right.
Thank you, Marty. Howling was the first time I saw Ladybush. There's a lot of hairy ladies in that film. Right.
Which film was that?
The Howling. The first
one.
Oh,
right. Okay.
Yeah. I'm doing Howling 2 on Saturday night.
Oh, excellent. What? Sturmer?
Yes, that's it. She-Bitch or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right, there we go. Polygram Pictures presents.
For Jim O'Rourke.
You going to sing the songs in this one?
Not this time round, no. But I was always, as a young kid when I first saw this, I was obsessed with the fact that he called, his production company or the production company that made this film was a lycanthrope production. Because as a kid, I had no idea what a lycanthrope was. It took a long time to learn that.
Well, when I was a kid, I only saw the first half of this. As soon as the werewolves come through there and kill his family, it was as far as I got as a kid.
Oh, really? Okay. So what was your kind of introduction to this? When did you first see it?
It would have been late 80s, very late 80s, early 90s. I don't know when, because I didn't get into horror till late.
Yeah, it was kind of for me. It was I didn't see it when it first came out on VHS. And I obviously didn't see it at the cinema because when it first came out at the cinema, I was like 8 years old or something. But I was obsessed with the Michael Jackson's Thriller video.
Yes.
And when you watch the making of Michael Jackson's Thriller, there is a piece on there that's where John Landis. That's it. Exactly. That's it. Where John Landis is talking about American Werewolf in London, and because he directed it, obviously. And also directed Thriller, and Michael Jackson was obsessed with American Werewolf in London, and that's why he brought Landis in to direct this movie. He wanted the transformation series, the transformation sequence to look something similar to what he did in American Werewolf in London. But unfortunately, in Thriller, he looks more like as Frank and I say, he looks more like a big cat than he does a wolf.
He does.
But it's still decent. I mean, it's Rick Baker doing his stuff. And yeah, it's if it were not for Michael Jackson, I would never have kind of watched this film so early.
Ah,
So I think I saw this in about 84. I'm guessing that's when Thriller came out.
yeah.
Which I would have been 11 at that time.
Ooh.
So yeah, it was quite special to watch this.
So here we go.
I had to convince my dad to rent it because it was one of the more expensive VHSs. It was £1 rather than a 50p one. You know?
I used to have the preset rental.
Oh, you did?
I used to, yeah, for temporarily.
And that one there, was it a Channel 5 one that you had?
That was the Channel 5 one, or was it Spectrum? I can never remember. Channel 5, I think, and then this one's just a full front video re-release. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes.
I think you can still pick them up, the original Polygram release. And for those of you that don't know, if you're watching this now, this is where Frank and I get our sign-off piece from, our signature at the end of every show, which is stick to the roads and the best of luck.
Yeah.
There you go. Stick to the roads and the best of luck.
Now, that brings up my first question. Why stick to the roads? It's a werewolf. He's not like going to avoid the roads, is he?
I don't know. I guess on the road, you've probably got more chance of coming across somebody for help than you have in the middle of the Brecon Beacons, right?
There was an ice cream van when I went, but yeah. So I mean Yorkshire Moors.
Yeah, it should be the Yorkshire Moors. So for those of you that don't know, this is actually in Wales. It's doubling for the Yorkshire Moors, which I don't know why they did this, because it's a hell of a lot more difficult to get to Wales.
I don't know how they got all down these country lanes, and especially to the village.
Yeah,
it's really out in the middle of nowhere. And
it's beautiful, but there are equally as beautiful places in the Yorkshire Dales, you know.
Yes, apparently the Yorkshire people can't understand why there's that as well, because I guess it's because Yorkshire's flat, they said, and they were looking at this and it's all mountains and hills.
Well, I mean, if you go to the right places, it's not flat.
Too far north. But the village hasn't changed in 40 years.
No. Which I haven't. Have you been to it? You have.
A couple of times now.
Oh, okay. How far are you away from this place?
It's only about 2 hours from me.
Okay. So for me, I would say it's because I'm in the arse end of Essex. So I guess it's going to take me about 5-6 hours to get there. I think. But I should go.
Well, yes, you got to have the picture there, because even Sean Clark from America has been, hasn't he? So
yeah, he has. He's been there.
Except he called it Wales, England, in the
yeah.
When he put the title up, which upset a lot of the Welsh people. Lost some subs that day.
I mean, look at that just, for me, you know, I'd just love to retire to somewhere like that. I don't know how it is where you live at the moment. You're in Wales, right?
I'm in Western-super-Mare, so I can see Wales.
Oh, okay. Is it anything like this? Is it kind of picturesque?
Well, this is exactly. Well, I grew up in outside a village that was just about this size, so this is accurate. There's no one around.
Oh, okay.
Apart from the sheep, as you can see.
Yeah.
And then there were, my village had 3 pubs when we moved there, and by the time I left, there was none. So
yeah, they
weren't a thriving business. But yeah, so the outside is Wales, and the inside is, was it Surrey? The pub in near London.
It's the pub is. We're now inside a pub that is in actually south of London, right?
Yeah.
Oh no! Is it? Hang on a minute. Surrey is.
I always thought it was South London, but
yeah, it is. It is. It's south of London. I'm pretty sure. So they walk from Wales into South London on the interior
by magic.
And this pub's still there today.
Yes,
and a lot of people, you know, if you're on any of the American Werewolf forums or anything like that, a lot of people do still go there, and you can still see. And although it's been kind of modernized and everything, you can still see exactly where certain parts of the movie were shot. It's
I
great.
think they definitely kept it. So I think isn't the painting angle or whatever it is on the wall still, or a
Is it
version of
really, or a version of it maybe as a
Yeah.
tribute, but it doesn't look anything like this at the
I
moment.
did
It's kind of a
think that
lot
was
more.
pictures.
It's a lot more brightly decorated.
Yes, but yeah, Savoy's met John Landis.
Oh wow! How did that happen?
Yeah, but yeah, and then
Let me guess. Fright Fest UK. He was there one year. I know because I missed it.
Was he?
Yeah, he did. He went along to Fright Fest when American Werewolf was. I think it was. Oh, it may be like 10 or 12 years ago when it was released as Universal re-released it with the documentary on there, Beware the Moon.
Ah, yes.
Hmm.
Have you ever seen Innocent Blood?
I have.
The vampire version of this.
Yes. Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah. There's Rick Mail. Apparently, John Landis was in London, saw Rick and Aid performing, and he said it was just them two shouting at each other, but he loved it. So he gave them a part in this, but then only Rick turned up because Aid thought the invite was a joke.
Oh, so Aid Edmondson was due to be in this as well?
That's the story I've heard, but who knows?
Okay.
Correct or not.
And we have we've got Brian Glover of Kes,
wrestling legend, yes.
Wrestling legend, who my granddad is a wrestler as well, who used to wrestle with him. And who else have we got in here? We've got David Schofield as well.
Yeah. But yeah, Glover's joke about the Alamos.
Yeah.
It's just great.
Well, a lot of people would recognize Brian Glover probably from Alien 3 more than the likes of Kes.
Or Bottom. But
I would imagine. Just looking at this, I know that the majority of people that are in this pub scene here, apart from Griffin and David, are probably dead now. If Paul Rick Mail's dead, Brian Glover's dead.
Glover.
Schofield is still alive, I believe. But I know that the girl behind the bar as well, she's passed now. And a lot of the extras looked like they were ready for passing just after this shoot, I think. But
oh yes, what do you make of this rumor that John Landis' son Max is going to do a remake?
That was on the cards, and then all of a sudden, he sadly got cancelled all of a sudden, didn't he? Yeah.
Unfortunately, he did, yes. And he hasn't come back. I don't know what he was cancelled for. I can't remember, but
there was something that went on. It was all around that kind of same period where lots of people were kind of falling off their perches.
Although there was someone today, wasn't there? Oh no, yeah, the Harrods guy, yeah.
Yeah.
But carrying on, you made me miss
guy.
Nice shot. So here, while it's quiet in the pub, they're all hiding there, but they know the werewolf's out there. But then they let the guys go. It's up to as long as they follow the rules, they'll be all right. But then they turn up and shoot the werewolf. So why didn't the village just shoot the werewolf at any point in time when they know it's out there attacking people?
I guess that their whole thing was that this is like this kind of worst kept secret in this village. And so they once the guys go out there and they know that you're going to succumb to whatever, my thought in my head is that they're going out there to clear up the bodies, and they come across them being attacked at the same time. So it's
beware the moon.
But that's probably a plot hole that I'm kind of filling in my head. But no, that's the way I kind of like to look at it. I think
if this film doesn't happen if they shoot the werewolf.
Exactly.
But yeah, that statue in the middle of the road was there just for the film. It was only a bit of dressing.
Yeah.
I think people are disappointed when they turn up and it's not there.
Oh, really? Is that what happens? They
I know.
It's like a kind of Eros type thing, isn't it? From Piccadilly.
Yeah.
Or something. It's quite something. I mean, it must have been a bit of a chore because the majority of this obviously is filmed in and around London, but there's obviously a lot of to-ing and fro-ing or second unit or whatever that's going on to take care of the Welsh side of things. it does make me wonder. You know, they could have found so much, an equal amount of beautiful land to do. I mean, this is Hyde Park, as we know, right? This bit here. I think is Hyde Park.
Yeah, there was
that they're using.
Yeah, because they went all over the place. But unfortunately, we got a troll in the chat. But
oh, really?
Thank you very much, Mr. Riker.
Oh, right. Hey, Frank, how you doing?
Couldn't make it this evening because of the stupid hours between here and America. He's with us in spirit and money. Thank you, Frank.
Frank works on an evening, or an evening hour time. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Are you daft? But yeah. Good old Yorkshire pie.
Darren on the right side of my screen is playing Hell with my OCD. I'm not used to it. Oh yeah, I actually. Do you know what? This actually works. Oh no, that doesn't work. That doesn't work because of the way I look at the screen and everything. It feels better to be on the right, looking over. Maybe it's something a conversation I need to have with Frank about when we position ourselves.
Who's in charge on that channel?
It's equal. It's equal. We discuss everything. Don't worry about it.
Who needs veto power? Oh, did you hear that? But what do you make of this howl? Is it the best howl in a werewolf movie ever?
I think it is. I think it's so recognizable. Anytime you hear, and anytime anyone lifts it and tries to use it in someone else, in something else, you always go, "That's the American Werewolf howl." You know, it's instantly recognizable. And my wife's terrified by it. Even though she's a big horror fan and she loves this movie, in fact, it was one of the movies that we bonded over when we first got together. That howl, whenever she hears it, it gives her the shivers. It really does.
I can't remember what it's like. The T-Rex roar. It's a combination of about 5 or 6 animals, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then, they're not. There are people so picky that they say the moon shining on these people while they're running around the malls keeps changing direction.
Yeah. It is, and that's, you know, that was the whole point behind the channel that Frank and I put together, was that we love these movies. We've seen them so many times. We just like to have fun with them. There are faults and flaws with them, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter what you're watching. Just have light-hearted fun with them, and you know, it's not a slur against them in any way. It's just showing our affection towards them.
Exactly. Like, you can pick a hole in any film, but if it's good enough to it doesn't bother you, then that's all right.
Yeah.
Tra-la-la-la-la. Isn't this fun? Oh, we got someone.
Oh, that's ATG and AT. That's Ronnie. Hey, Ronnie.
Thank you, Ronnie.
How are you doing?
Yes. Well, no one's as rich as Frank anyway, so I've seen all his stuff, his collectibles. But yeah, here we go. So there's a bit where saying it's circling us, isn't it? And then
for me, this scene is, I think it's shocking. This scene? I think it's so violent. And, you know, Frank and I talk about this all the time. It's one of those sequences where guys in films, whenever they succumb to something, they usually go out really coolly. You know what I mean? Fighting or something like that. This is vicious. I'm watching this now and I'm thinking, this is horrific. This guy is screaming for his life.
Yeah.
And his throat's getting ripped out. And he's in so much agony.
Yeah,
and his mate, his friend, is running away from him, and then he gets to that point where he turns and runs back, and he's just in bits on the floor. Yeah. And the only movie that I can compare it to in terms of a violent scene where a grown man is screaming for his life like that is Quint in Jaws when he goes.
That's only a PG as well, and that's always freaked me out, that bit, especially as a kid.
Yeah. It's a nasty scene.
So yeah, the werewolf is down and a man now.
If you ever listen to, and it's on YouTube, I don't know if you ever want to listen to it, but there is a radio play of American Werewolf in London. And if you listen to it, it's a lot longer and it kind of concentrates more on the characters in East Proctor and who the guy is that they've shot and killed there, which the film doesn't really, you know, kind of hang around on. So if anybody's interested to know more about who that original guy was, then check out that the radio play, which is on, and it has some of the real actors from.
Yes, I did see that earlier. I didn't have time because it's a long
They,
night.
they used to do that. They used to do that. They did it with Star Wars. The BBC did it with Star Wars years ago. And it was in 13 parts, I remember now. And it was so much more kind of fleshed out, sorry, I should say, which is exactly what happens with American Werewolf in this thing. It's you learn so much more about all the characters.
Yeah. So yes, is there a novelization? I can't remember if I've ever seen one.
I'm not sure, actually.
Where's reading movies?
Good question.
But yeah,
and here she gets caught. As Frank's obsessed with this bit here, she gets caught admitting that she's had a look. She's had a peep, and found out that he's Jewish.
Well, apparently, because when he changes later, and you were supposed to see his bits later on when he changes.
Oh, really?
Because David Norton's not Jewish. He's not cut. So he would be there uncut. And people would say, but he's supposed to be Jewish. Not that I've noticed. When he's changing into a werewolf.
Yeah.
And then, because he was famous for being the Dr. Pepper guy.
Yes, he was, David Norton.
Got kicked off because he's nude in this film. So not a good role model.
Sadly not well at the moment as well. He's I know somebody that knows him, another content creator, and she tells me that she's in touch with him quite a lot. He was due to come over to Sheffield earlier this year, and he cancelled. He was at the Sheffield HorrorCon and he cancelled because he had with his heart. And she reached out to him and said, "Is everything okay?" And he said, "It's actually not very good at the moment." So hopefully he gets well soon.
Yeah.
I did meet him
nice
2 years ago now, and he recorded a really nice introduction to TSL Movie Podcast, and which we've used a couple of times. I chatted with him, told him about the podcast. He said, "Oh, I'll check it out." It felt like, and whatever health problems he's got, I don't know, but he felt like he was older than what he actually was. He was very slow. He was very focused on what you were saying, but you could tell he'd aged a lot over the years. And,
he's done a few horror films in his day, hasn't he? Now he's done a werewolf film.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one it is though. I saw it the other day.
I can't remember the title of it now, but he's
done his part as a sheriff or something.
Yeah. But yeah, bless David Norton. He's I think he's getting on a bit now.
Well, yes, exactly, because this is, what did we say this was, 40 something years ago?
43 years ago now. So
yeah. And there's Frank Oz.
And then this year I managed to catch a Q&A with Griffin Dunn in Sheffield as well. He was there this year, was Griffin. The two of them were supposed to be there together. And he did a great Q&A and talked about his time on American Werewolf in London, which he's not, I guess it's like, he probably did 2 weeks on the shoot or something like that. If somebody asked you to remember 2 weeks at work 43 years ago, you're going to struggle, right? You're going to struggle to remember what you did on any particular day.
Yeah, because you're at this thing set and you're thinking, who's going to remember this in 40 years?
Yeah. But he talked about the makeup process and all that kind of thing. And he was very accommodating. He also talked about working with Madonna because he was in Who's That Girl?
Yes.
And he was kind of, he was complimentary about her. It was actually the first bit at a horror convention in Sheffield. It was actually the first question when they threw it open to the audience that somebody asked, which was, what was it like working with Madonna? Not how was it with all that Rick Baker makeup on your face or anything
what like that.
What was it like with Madonna? Yeah, exactly, with Scorsese or After Hours. But he was very sweet. And John Woodfine, I think he might even still be alive.
I was thinking because he's just Silver Fox in this, isn't he? He's not really that old. He's just.
I think he might be like in his 90s or something.
Yeah. Typically, he's not in there. Where is he? John Woodbine. There he is. And then the stupid detectives, as usual. Yes, he is still with
He's
us.
still alive. Wow.
1929, he was born.
So he's
So
95. Good
He was
for
in the
him.
film. He was in that film Ennismen 2 years ago.
So he was 50, around about 50, 51 when he made this. Wow.
Yes. I don't know about the
I'm
policeman.
dead.
But NHS, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I don't know. I'm guessing this is probably a London hospital, isn't it? So why did they bring him from Yorkshire to London? Because people said there's a perfectly good hospital in Leeds they got to take him.
It doesn't quite have the same ring, does it? An American Werewolf in Leeds.
Just because the Americans will be going, where the hell is Leeds?
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I've always had it in my head that the treatment was better down there. So,
South of the border.
yeah, even though I'm from, Leeds or that area, that's where I'm originally from. I'm about 8 miles away from Leeds, so
Yeah, it's a fair trek from the south, isn't it?
it is. It is. I mean,
It's gonna be like half an hour when that new train runs.
yeah. When it's so well, I don't think it's going to Leeds, is it? I think they sort of ran out of money at Manchester and left it at that.
It's it goes from Manchester to Manchester at the moment, doesn't it? They could have sent us a first class ticket from London to Leeds.
Yeah, yeah.
The money they've spent on it. See, there's an American that says
Leeds is in sort of the centre of the UK, but it isn't the centre of the UK. I can tell you that.
Yes.
And this is the start of this kind of like dream sequences that we're seeing here.
Yes.
I think your video's at 25. What's video run at 25, doesn't it? 25 FPS.
Yes.
Yeah,
Just
so
a bit
it creeps
faster.
ahead a little bit.
I think it's 4% faster
Yeah,
by
yeah.
the end of the film.
And these are really graphic sequences here where he's kind of ripped the head off a deer and
because he makes a
started
joke about
eating
eating
it.
Bambi later, doesn't he?
Yeah.
There's the Lucasade. I'll say there's the Lucasade bottle that used to be in the yellow wrapping.
Oh right, okay. I keep forgetting you're into all this kind of pop culture nostalgia and everything, aren't you?
Old. And then the little kid, no,
Is Benjamin?
no. He must be he looks very healthy to be.
He
So
does, doesn't he? And also he's kind of looking off camera a lot of the time.
He
isn't
does.
When he does it.
He's looking around.
Landis must have got to the stage where he was like, whatever, it'll do.
Reading a Laurel and Hardy magazine, which is very unlikely. I don't know.
Did I say winter special, 40 pence? 40 pence back then? Wow.
Probably thought it was expensive then. Got a few Batman comics from the early 90s, like 95p.
I think that gentleman there that went past was kind of a sitcom regular in the sort of 70s and 80s.
I did look at him when he came past.
Popped up in, I think he was in like Mind Your Language, and I think he was always kind of it sounds awful, but at the time it was reality that there were certain Asian actors that they would use to kind of ridicule and play kind of stereotype characters. And he would pop up in a lot of 70s and 80s British sitcom.
So yes, this had a $10 million budget, which works out about $30 million or whatever it is now. And then they still can't beat the effects.
Yeah.
They keep trying, bless them, some of them.
And Richard agrees. He says, yeah, he was in Mind Your Language as the Indian.
The Indian, yeah. yeah, this is it. Because Norton says glass contact lenses were the worst things for him to wear
Oh, what, when he's in the bed with
When he
opens
wakes
his
up
eyes?
and
Yeah.
opens his eyes, he had to do it really quick.
That's a horrific image as well.
It is.
It still haunts me today, does that?
Yeah, because it's on the front. Is it on the where is it? No, I haven't got it. On your Blu-ray.
I think it might be. Let me just have a look.
I know there's many covers.
It's no, it's not quite on this one, but
no, it must be another one I've seen it on where it's the main cover. She's spending a lot of time with him.
Yeah, she's beautiful in this. Isn't she gorgeous in this film?
A lot of people were shocked because A, she's in it, B, she's naked in it. And C, she was, what was it, Walkabout and Railway Children before this.
She was Walkabout, yeah, the Nick Rogue film, and Railway Children, which was again filmed up in the sort of Yorkshire area of Haworth when I was a kid. Yeah, she's great.
Yeah,
and she was in Spooks. Do you remember Spooks?
Oh, the spy thing, yeah,
the spy thing on TV. She was in that for a while, and
hell of a cast. I'm trying to think the other stuff she's in. Is it The Guardian when she turns into a tree, or is that someone else?
No, that was Jenny.
No, the other Jenny.
Seagrove.
Yeah.
Jenny, was it Jenny Seagrove? No, Jenny Seagrove, I think. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
I was confused.
There we go. There you go.
There it is. Yeah, it's shocking, this film, for a comedy. Because when the people at the original poster says it's from the director of Animal House and Blues Brothers, it's not preparing you for what's going to happen, is it?
Somebody's saying, "Is your mic on, Darren?" Who's saying that to me? I just had a message saying, "Is your mic on?"
I can hear him. I think no one else has mentioned it. Oh,
I'm going to tell him to piss off. He's messing about with me. I know somebody just sent me a private message asking me that. Yeah, what were we talking about? The eyes, that image of him waking up on that gurney there is something else. Is that it really does? It's the stuff of nightmares.
Yeah, because the timeline isn't it? It's the attack on the moors. 3 weeks later, he wakes up in hospital. So we've got a few more days before the first of the 3 nights of full moons. Because I've watched about 30 something or 40 werewolf films recently, and I get a handle on them.
Really? Have you watched Werewolf of Washington?
Not. I have in the past, but I'm not watching it again because it's terrible. There is a President Werewolf I'm looking forward to watch that, but
there is. It's Dean Stockwell.
Dean Stockwell, yes, with the teddy bear makeup.
He says, "I'm being serious." Can people in the chat hear me? Is that I can hear Darren. This is actually the most balanced audio I've ever heard on a live. It sounds like your computer mic. Really? Let me just have a look.
It's your dulcet tones. That's just too nice. It's like having Wogan back.
It shouldn't sound like my computer mic, Ronnie.
Nurse Gallagher. A lot of Nurse Gallagher fans. Even though she sexually abused him.
Everyone's saying I can hear you both clearly. Good. Okay. Maybe Ronnie's computer's on the blink. I don't know.
Yes. You got it set to robot.
I'm just going to... Let me just have a listen to what I sound like. 1 second.
Me.
Just gonna...
See, oh, there's the Muppets. This is the bit that threw me. As a kid, I always watched this Muppets bit.
Oh, there is an echo. There is a bit of an echo.
I don't get an echo, but...
Yeah, I'm getting a bit of an echo. 1 second.
I got the speakers on, so it might be slightly off.
Let me just have a look at this. 1 second.
Okay. I'll ask the audience. Is there too many dream sequences in this film? Because here's the Stormtrooper werewolves. Now, apparently, is it Rick Baker's fans or students are the ones that made the werewolf masks for this scene? That's why they don't move. Oh, I can hear that.
1, 2.
That sounds a bit different.
Oh, does that sound better?
No. I can hear the film.
Oh, okay. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. That's probably why. That's probably why.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. You can hear me still?
Testicles, 1, 2, testicles.
Have you been up long?
Let me just mute the film 1 second.
You must know off by heart.
I do. That's fine. I'm just going to put the subtitles
Oh,
on.
there it is.
But yeah, I was on the wrong microphone. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you, Ronnie, for pointing that out.
There
I
you go.
should sound clearer now.
Everyone's better.
Thank you, Andy. Andy's saying your voice sounds much better now, Darren. I was using the audio from my screen mic. I don't know why that happened.
Ah,
Anyway.
that's the trouble. When I go through my list, about 5 mics. I have to,
Yeah.
for stupid devices. Now, how has he got a room on his own? I know it's the NHS, but
That's another question that people always ask. Because he's American and he's probably paying for the privilege, I would have thought.
well, I guess Frank Oz is. Oh, there we go, and then he's back. Jack is back.
Ian Grant says, now you sound like a radio DJ. Okay.
That's Alan Partridge is here.
Game.
Off the Radio Norwich.
Frank says, Darren is always blaming me for my mic. It's about time it happened to him. Sorry, Frank. Thank you, Ronnie. Hopefully Ronnie can hear this, but thanks for pointing that out.
Well,
this scene here, which we can all see on the screen there at the bottom, it haunts me as well with that little tag of skin just right there.
Yeah, we don't get the toast scene, but we get enough flappy skin.
Apparently, I sounded like I was live from the shitter.
I wouldn't go that far. I just had like you were in a big room, maybe a little room then, or the little room. But apparently, Griffin Dunne did get quite upset seeing himself in the makeup.
He did. He actually got like clinically depressed. Wearing this makeup here. I think it was this stage rather than the one later on because that was so kind of almost like mummified in some ways. This is it's hot. It looks so real. It looks so genuine. It looks so fresh and raw and open and glistening and swollen as well. where the claws have gone down his face. You can see the puffing out there as if it's kind of, it's really just like infected as well. And that little bit of skin just rattling there, which
Rick knew what he was doing.
It was a question on set as to, shall we lose that? Is it?
It was going to be a problem, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were like, no, leave it. It's horrible. Leave it. Just flapping away as he speaks.
Fancy the join. Now, why does the werewolf kill people in this?
Why does the werewolf kill people?
Yeah. He doesn't eat them, does he?
No, but it needs that blood rush to kind of continue, doesn't it? It's like when you see David after his first night of killing, he's full of energy and he's kind of, I feel so great. It's just because he's had that kind of, he's had that injection of blood and protein, and he's feeling so much better. He's high on it.
And
it's kind of like a drug to him. He has to keep on doing that.
Instinct.
Yeah.
Because luckily this film doesn't go with the silver bullet. Otherwise, that always causes issues for films.
Have you watched Silver Bullet yet? Have you done Silver?
Yeah, I've done Silver Bullet. It's a good one. That's probably one of the good ones I've watched.
Frank says he has an orgy in the zoo.
Oh, yes. A lot of wolf ladies in that zoo. Yes, the zoo scene they had to film once because they were real wolves. They'd been fed when they got there, but they were so long setting up, they were getting a bit frisky by the time they filmed the scene, so they could only do it once.
It's a brave thing for him to do as well, for him to kind of like, I mean, I don't know what the situation was with those wolves in that sequence there, but he's naked in that pen with them, which we'll get to in a bit. This is him feeling sorry for himself and confiding in Nurse Price at the moment. But so what happens here while you're, she's obviously inviting him back to stay at her house. We're going to get to that naughty sequence in the shower in a minute. What do you do about the screen here at the bottom?
I have to take it away.
Take it away.
It can be quite revealing. Trouble is, the bastards in the audience forget to tell me it's coming up or something like that. Luckily, I got a pro with me tonight that can warn me. Because what were we watching the other night? Something I was watching the other night. I was distracted, and I didn't remove the scene.
Nudity in there, yeah.
There was nudity, but luckily it was dark. I think.
I don't think YouTube's algorithm would pick up on this. I don't think.
No, it would pick up on the film more than the nudity. I think, but it can't be.
I think this here is a lot of this sequence here is to just show you how diverse and crammed the tube system is a lot of the time in the UK. And I can tell you, I go on it every day, and it's fucking 10 times worse than this. Now,
it's horrible, isn't it?
You are literally up against people's armpits all the way through your journey. It's nasty at times.
Yeah, see, Michael Myers admits it. They ask me a question or
the view.
They know I'll go over here and get a film or something, and then I'll forget to take the screen off. Oh, let's see who else is here.
Matt, hey buddy, he says I've seen this probably 20 times. Love it.
Yeah. I was supposed to believe a lovely Jenny Agate only had 3 men in her life.
Yeah. And the weird thing is as well that Sean Clark recently went back to this flat in London and filmed outside it. And actually, it was empty at the time. I think it was up for sale. But as you look at the window there's a seat, like a little seating area in the window with a cushion on it. It looked to me from his footage, the seating area was obviously still there. I still think it's the same cushion that's on the seat there as well.
Well, yes, if they left it behind or something, I would keep it.
43 years later.
So yeah, this came out August 21st, 1981 in America. And didn't take long to get here. BFI got it on November 8th and then worked November 12th for the rest of the country.
It was just before Christmas, I remember. Yeah. Frank says, are English girls this easy? Well, we'll let you find out next month, Frank. Frank's coming over to
is he?
UK, yeah, for the love of horror. Do you usually get out to that convention? Or no? A bit too far out? Or
yeah. And expensive. Who's there this year?
Oh my God. I mean, there's like 30 odd guests that they've got this year. There's a lot of the original Halloween alum that are going to be there, I think. There's a reunion of The Thing, which a few of them have dropped out. I'm going to
that's the trouble, isn't it?
Well, you get rid of the boobs. Do you want to do that right now?
It's only a bit of back. Thank you. See, a gentleman this week.
What's really nice is I'm watching it. I can still see them.
Mommy and Daddy are hugging in the shower because they love each other very much.
There's a Tucker and Dale reunion. There's an Evil Dead reunion there. There's
nice.
Going on. The one thing that they're doing on the Friday night is they're doing 2 watch-alongs. So you sit in an auditorium, they run a film, and they have cast members do commentaries through the watch-alongs. So they're doing one for A House of a Thousand Corpses with Bill Moseley. And then they're doing the original Terrifier, the first film, with the two of the girls. One in particular is the blonde girl who suffered nasty death in the original Terrifier. She's going to be stood on stage telling us about that sequence while she's hung upside down naked on the screen. So that's going to be really interesting. Yeah, it's a good weekend if you ever get the chance to go up. It's certainly good.
I do need to go to one of these events, but yeah. Which one is it? Where is it?
For the Love of Horror. It's in Manchester. It's in.
Why would I want to go to Manchester?
Don't put Frank off. He's just paid a fortune for his ticket.
I bought go to Hawaii instead. Trade your ticket in. Right.
I think it's over. There we go.
Sorry, lads. Darren spoiled it for you. But yes, you can get a 4K of this if you really do need to see Jenny Agutter in a shower scene.
I did buy Frank a 4K of this. I don't know whether he's watched it yet, but I'm sure he has actually. Thanks. He says, thanks now. I'm cancelling the trip.
He doesn't get mugged every 5 minutes, does he?
Another one of those mirror tricks here, whereas he closes the mirror and Jack appears.
Yes, how many times has this been done?
And look at the toothpaste there. Do you remember that? SR?
Oh, SR. Oh, yes. Is there some matey there as well?
There probably is. Ozine as well.
Back when there was like one lady product each then, not a million.
Turn the blue iris says, for the love of horror sounds rather twee. Horror herd might be there. Can you imagine? No, it's nothing but, honestly. No, it's everything but twee. It's a good weekend. It's a good weekend.
Yeah. Well, see, that's why I tried to interview people because I can't make it to these things. Let's see if I can find. There you go. So, because this is the last time we see Griffin Dunn physically on screen, isn't it? Oh no, outside.
Yeah,
and then that's.
Do we know if that's actually him? I've always wondered that.
Well, yes, I'm going to keep an eye on it
because you see him from such a distance, and then when you get inside the theatre in Piccadilly, he's like a puppet, isn't he?
Yeah,
yeah.
I think he was on set to do the voice, so the puppeteer you want to make.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is it then. Tomorrow night's the full moon. Yeah, it takes an hour before he changes.
I love the Mickey Mouse scene.
Yes,
right.
I think that was ad lib, wasn't it? Same with the sheep. Sitting on his pack at the beginning.
Yeah. Michael Myers says Stacey Nelkin is going. Apparently, Myers charity love scene member. Yeah, she's going to be there.
I think she's in a new film with
really?
Who's from The Shining? The lady from The Shining.
Oh yeah, they've got like all this kind of old horror alum together.
Yeah, and then Patrick. John Connor from Terminator 2.
Yeah.
New horror film.
Frank and I, while we were filming, we went to Halloween 45 last year in Pasadena. And while we were filming, Frank actually went up and met Stacey Nelkin, and we had to caught it all on camera, and she was great.
Did he have a six-pack?
Did Frank have a six-pack?
Of beers.
Oh, I see. Right, okay. But she was sat next to Tom Atkins for the whole weekend.
Oh, right, cool.
Right. Yeah. And Tommy Lee Wallace was next to her, I believe. Yeah. So
nice.
Yeah, so the three of them were all there, and Alan Howarth. He was sat the other side. Yeah, so there was like a kind of foursome between three people there.
I've been messing with my remote. It went on the fritz. And now it's ejecting the tape.
Oh, really?
That's a lesson. Don't point the fruit.
So I've got a question for you. You obviously you're huge into your VHS. How many players do you have? And what do you do if one fucks up? Do you have a source for getting a new one or getting it repaired?
Well, I got one here on the left, which is connected to the computer, so I can rip from the VHS. I got a TV just on the right.
Yep.
This built-in one. I got a spare at the back that's connected to an old LCD screen that I use for gaming, like GameCube and N64 gaming. So I got back up there. I think this is the second VHS on the left I had. Nice. This is a Daewoo, top of the line Daewoo. I didn't know they made such things, but apparently they did.
Yep.
The original one I had chewed up a lot of tape, so I got.
So how many is that? That's four, right?
That's three now. Three. Yeah, at the moment. But they're quite.
Are you on the lookout for new players?
Well, I need a Betamax player, but they're very expensive because I got a load of Betamax tapes that I don't know what's on them because they're recorded off something. And I really want to know what they are, but.
And are there companies that still make VHS players and Betamax players?
I think it's less than 20 years ago since they stopped making them.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they went from VHS players to VHS DVD.
Yeah, they
combined,
blended the two, didn't they, for a while? Yeah.
And then they just gave up. For some reason, people stopped using them when these Blu-rays came out.
Yeah. And when PVR boxes came in as well,
yes.
we could record, off the TV onto a hard drive. Yeah.
Fast forward and see what's happening at the same time.
Do you like new tech?
Yeah, well, I've got a Blu-ray player.
Have you got 4K?
No. I got an Xbox, but I don't have any 4K discs for it. There you go. There's a Blu-ray player.
Okay, there's one lying around the floor. Not plugged in, I see.
That's my next trick.
It's plugged in, but no player plugged in at all.
Because I've got I'm going to get an SCART to HDMI adapter so I can record Blu-rays onto VHS as a test.
Yeah.
For a bit of fun.
This is a cool scene. I love this scene here where he goes back to East Proctor to kind of investigate what happened between the two American kids. And there's some nice moments in this sequence here where they're all trying to cover things up. Even though they've done their best to cover things up, they're still kind of, in denial about it all.
Yes.
Until one of them breaks. We'll see in a moment.
Yes. There's a pineapple on the table.
Yeah.
It's one of those ice holders back in the day.
Yeah. We used to have one of those as well, where you just took the top of it off and it was full of ice cubes.
What are they drinking? Carlsberg and was it Skull?
Yeah, a Carlsberg and
I can't see it now. It's a lot of Carlsberg advertising.
There's some sort of beer there. Is it what Brewers something or other?
They've got the little pack of nuts on a cardboard display, but they haven't got the naked lady behind the nuts.
So what, like the double D's or
yes.
the big D was it? I think it was called
the packet from the middle, please.
Yeah.
So this doctor's traveled all the way from London to Yorkshire or wherever we are, to investigate because I'm guessing he thinks there's a real problem.
Well, he's kind of semi-convinced by David's story, isn't he? He's sort of like, he's seen the scars on him and, he wants to know more about it.
Yeah. I don't know how convinced he is. It's a supernatural.
And it's such a long drive.
It would be back then in his old car.
Just have a Campari soda or whatever it is. No, he has a Guinness, doesn't he? But he asked for a Campari soda.
Yes.
And she's like, we don't have any of that foreign muck in here. So, he literally is in town for, 5 minutes and then decides to make the journey back because he's so unwelcome.
Yes. You think, at least stay overnight. But no, it's a full moon this night, isn't it? The first night. Story about werewolves.
Good old Brian Glover.
Yeah.
He was a great character actor. Do you remember a film he did, a Welsh film called Up and Under?
Is that about rugby?
Yes.
And then who was they had a girl player or something, isn't it?
It was the girl from she ended up in EastEnders, a blonde girl, I can't remember her name now. She was part of it was a sitcom.
Yes, I'm trying to think of
lots of couples, I can't remember now, but
Jeff was there.
Yeah. Neil Morrissey was in the film as well. And
yes.
But yeah, he was the kind of sort of veteran rugby player who taught them how to kind of overcome the team and by using this tactic called Up and Under.
Was it Kelly Bright?
No, it wasn't.
No, it was a blonde.
Yeah.
It's not Samantha Janus, was it?
Yes, it was Samantha Janus. Yeah.
There we go. It's all coming back to me now.
I think it was Brian Glover looked very ill in it. I mean, this film is 25 years old now.
Yeah, it wasn't
long before he died. He was very bloated. I think he had cancer. He was very bloated in it. Bless him. And I think it was one of his last films, I think. The Upper Hand. No, it was Up and Under. Oh, you know, the TV show might have been Up the Upper Hand. Right. Okay. No, it was. What was the TV show again? Coupling, was it?
Coupling. That's it. Yes, that was Janus.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess because
Yeah,
make it look like a pub.
This scene is great because he goes to his car and he knows he's being watched. And he just kind of looks over his shoulder, and this guy's stood in the pissing rain in the graveyard watching him.
There's something wrong with this place.
Yeah.
Do you think they could make a prequel to this about the other werewolf man getting a?
I'd like to see that. I would like to see that. Like I said, the radio play expands a little bit more on that, but I'd like to see it. I'm not sure it would be palatable for a cinema audience these days.
What with the characters from this film?
I just don't think there's much call for a story about a Yorkshire werewolf, across Hollywood. Do you know what I mean? I don't think that it would play well across
the Midwest.
It might be a BBC TV drama or something like that, or something stuck in the corner of Netflix or Amazon somewhere. With an it has an audience, but as a kind of theatrical proposition, I think it's probably, it's never going to happen.
No, because it's in American Werewolf in Paris. There's the madman, whatever he is supposed to be in this. In this is linked to the cult that's in the Paris film, apparently. Very tenuous links in that.
Yeah.
They kept changing their mind what they were going to do.
Yeah.
There you go. He's looking through the window there.
And this scene, with him trying to get back in the flat. So this is what, when Sean went there recently, when you look at this bay window area, this where he lifts up this dormer, what do they call those sliding windows? French window. I can't remember what they call them. You can see in at the seating area in front of the window, and it looks exactly the same now. It's incredible.
Yeah, I see it. But yeah, there was Jones the cat from Alien just then.
It looked like him, didn't it?
It's doing the same trick. Apparently, they held up another cat at the window to make him do that.
Oh, really?
Reaction shot. There you go. We got a Skipton werewolf in LA.
Skipton werewolf in LA. It's a Skipton werewolf in LA. Skipton. I love Skipton. Skipton. I'm from a place called Saltaire, which is in West Yorkshire, and Skipton's not too far away from me. And at some point soon in the next few years, that kind of area is where I want to kind of settle down. And
nice. Yeah, darts on telly. Yes, this is definitely 80s TV.
Yep, Cliff Lazarenko. I didn't see who the other guy was.
Now, apparently, yes, Naughty Nina was a real person, and that was a real advert. Yeah. She was a glamour model that spent time in Stringfellows a lot, I think. So she picked a lot of... I think she's on, in the Sunday Sport, I seem to remember.
As is Lindsay Drew as well. Did you see those recent Channel 4 programs about censorship and everything in the 70s and 80s? They were on a Sunday night. It was called, I can't remember what it was called, but basically Lindsay Drew was on there with Robin Asquith and guys from the Confessions films. It was a documentary about all that kind of stuff in the late 70s, early 80s. It was good. It's good.
Right, there we go. So which bit is this a set? This bit, the bedroom, and
some of these shots are the actual flat that they filmed in, and then some of them are up at I can't remember if it was Pinewood or Shepperton now. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it was Shepperton, I heard earlier. But I think it's the room he changes it because they needed a fake floor, didn't they, to get the
to put his real body underneath the fake floor and then the prosthetic over the top.
I hear hurricanes are blowing. Yeah, there's a lot of Mickey Mouse in this flat. So he's reading, Connecticut Yankee and King Arthur's Court?
Yeah.
Which she was reading to him in the hospital earlier.
That's right.
And everyone remembers a spaceman in King Arthur's Court, don't they? So yeah, he leaves both doors open.
Yeah.
Which is because people said, well, how does the werewolf escape into the street? later on, but it's because he's left the doors open.
Yeah.
Yes,
People really question that. It's a huge werewolf. It'll just break the
Well,
door.
he doesn't, though, does he? Because she comes back and nothing's wrong.
Yeah.
People want to know. It's like so many of these films. I read the trivia. It's like that gun wasn't invented until like a year later. That aircraft was a different one to what they would have had at the time. I was like, oh Jesus. So yeah, we are 58 minutes in. Where is the werewolf?
It's coming. It is a slow burn. You mentioned that, where is the werewolf? But it is a slow burn where you don't really see it until beyond the hour mark.
No. And
Which
invested all the way through.
People wouldn't put up with that at all, would they? They'd be just like, done. This is it. You don't see it for an hour.
It would have the first 3 werewolves attack in the first 5 minutes, and then 6 weeks earlier or something.
Yeah. It's great transition here as well.
Blue moon. Of course, I don't know. I think it was the last, not tonight, the last 3 nights this week were full moons.
Oh, it's been fantastic. They've been huge super moons.
Yeah,
and again, I love that moment there where he's kind of just reading the book and there's no sort of build up. It just happens. It's like, Jesus Christ, all of a sudden. I think, it's not like he feels something and then something else and there's a build up. It's not, it whacks him in the head all at once.
Yeah, and it's the hand changing right in front of us. And everyone's probably going, oh, it's just CGI now. Looking at it.
No. That's a real prosthetic they're using.
Yeah, everything's moving and stretching as it would. The other thing is, only one hand changes. People have noted.
Yeah.
Pedantic people. Help me. Luckily, the neighbors are around. But yeah, these feet growing is just amazing.
It just looks so good.
Was it John Landis was working? No, he was on Kelly's Heroes. He was an assistant or something on Kelly's Heroes, and they were filming that in Eastern Europe. And
that's when he first heard about this, right?
Yeah, some sort of funeral.
This was a stuntman, right? Something.
Yeah, he was a stuntman as well. Yes, he does do a stunt later on. We'll see that at Piccadilly Circus.
Yeah,
and Rocky Taylor's there sliding on his bike, and then Vic Armstrong, I think, is driving the bus. Oh, and ejected again.
Oh, was it? Just spit it out again?
Well, it's 'cause my remote, bloody universal remote, is going crazy. It's sending out mixed signals. But there we go.
I love breaking the fourth wall there as well, which is great when he's kind of like looking for help to the camera.
Because I think, what was it? Rick Baker was upset because it was like all this effort for this face coming out bit.
Yeah.
And it was only on for 7 seconds, and he was very upset that we only used it once, and then he saw it with an audience and saw their reaction. And
that's all it needs. It's all it needs. You're too much, and then you start to see the trickery. But what they've put on screen is just perfect, and with the growling and the music and the sound effects and everything, it just. And this shot here, look, you think you're seeing more than what you actually are. They're so close in that you still don't really see the whole thing.
No, it fades out before you actually see anything major. I don't know the final product.
You get a top to toe shot of it for any large amount of time, apart from in the Piccadilly scene, which, it's so quick again. It's
so, yeah. So what time of night is it? Because there's a full moon in the background, so it's got to be a few hours in.
Now, this is around about, 8:30 or something like that? Because he gets to the subway around about the point when the trains are sort of getting towards the end. And these guys are just going to a dinner party. So you'd think it was around about 8:30 in the evening or something like that.
Like Simon says, imagine how bad this would look if they remade it today. Well, yeah. Well, that's the thing about in Paris, because the director wanted a... 4-legged one to go 2-legged and run off. That was the shot he envisioned, and then of course you do get that. But it also changes the lore by having him survive by eating the heart of the werewolf somehow.
Yes, yeah.
Nurse Gallagher. Do you know if Nurse Price?
I don't know.
So yes, the black nurse in the background was supposed to have a bigger part, but that was cut out.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't realize.
She got a few extra scenes that were cut apparently.
Okay.
I think one of them was like telling him to eat more because he's not eating anything, and it's bloody kids again.
Yeah. I work with somebody just like this guy.
I wouldn't be going to outside to scare off the obbers, especially after seeing Eden Lake.
Her angelic face.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who's the cinematographer on this?
Does it say on your who did it?
I've got to mention that apart from hit songs with the word moon in it, it does have Elmer Bernstein doing 7 minutes of score.
Well, yeah, and I don't believe the score's ever been released on a. You can on YouTube, you can find it.
But yeah, I don't think it's worth people putting on a track because for 7 minutes, I think they're excused.
It's a great score though. The score moments in this film are terrific.
But then the subway scene, or sort of underground scene, I should say, they don't use any sounds apart from
the
sounds of the trains and
horror doesn't actually need a lot of. I think horror's more ominous when there isn't any kind of score to it a lot of the time. I think.
Yes, and then yes, as Michael says, the whole death scene with the tramps was filmed where they were ripped to shreds.
Yeah.
But it was too much for people, so they cut it out. And I think the sex scene was longer.
Oh, was it really?
With Jenny Agutter was saying in an interview that for some reason on that day there was a lot more people on set when they were filming that she'd never seen before. Not a closed set.
People inviting their mates,
gaffers and grips, friends of the families.
So here he's just kind of explaining to her that he feels that David might be a werewolf, given his limited investigations underneath Proctor. And she's buying it, look.
Well, exactly. It does go very quickly, the film, from here, doesn't it?
And so it should. You know, I there's somebody that I work with that not for my company, but for an industry body that whenever you show him a film, he's like, "How long is it?" And if you say 2 hours, he's like, 90 minutes. He's like, he doesn't believe any movie should be any longer than 90 minutes.
Oh yeah, this is what, an hour and 47, isn't it, or 37? Hour and 37.
Yeah. Can you imagine, like Goodfellas condensed into 11 minutes? Or
what's going on? Where did that guy come from? Who's he?
Yeah.
Why did he just get shot? But it's not a bad rampage for London at about 9 p.m. 2 poshos and 3 tramps. And a businessman.
That's not Winston.
And then cut to the underground. What do we got? Wendy's. She's an advert for Wendy's on there. I don't know.
You can see that, yeah. And also, I used to love looking at in the corridors of the tube station here. You can see all the movies that were out at the time that they were filming. Like there's Flash Gordon, there's Airplane, there's something else as well. It's not Caligula or something like that.
No, there's one there I can see that's just out of focus. Is it Flashdance?
No, it wouldn't be Flashdance because this would have been around about 1980 when they were filming this. This is the guy that played Bib Fortuna.
That's him. I can see the eyes. I was trying to think.
Yeah,
I was going to just look up what else he's been in, but yes, that's him.
Return of the Jedi. He's always doing the conventions.
I was going to say he's always doing the conventions.
Michael, is it David or Mike? I can't remember his name now. Michael, whatever. He'll tell us in the chat.
Someone, yes. They're an educated bunch. sometimes.
Roundabout Nuts says this guy is so British. I shall report this.
Mind the gap.
So let's see if we can see the movie
Yeah.
post. Always an interesting game to play.
See that camera still. Is that? Yeah, there's the Wendy's ad. Did we have Wendy's back then?
We did have Wendy's back then.
Pregnant free advice.
Oh, there's numbers. One
Calais trips.
I'm quite sure all the posters were probably genuine because they probably didn't have enough time to.
There it is.
To clear
Apart
them
from
out.
that one. A non-stop orgy for
There's an advert for Minder. There's Airplane.
There's Minder, yeah, Airplane. Damn. Keep the camera still, man.
Let's have a look. We're missing
a few. See it.
Let's have a look.
You have to go frame by frame on your 4K.
Yeah.
Graffiti, Golden Morgan, is it? I don't know. Edam cheese. Yeah, I spent a lot of time in London in the summers.
We just went past Battle Beyond the Stars. There's Flash Gordon on the right.
There it is.
We went past Battle Beyond the Stars as well, which is interesting. The Roger Corman thing.
I don't know if people outside of London who've never been would realize about how many escalators there are in these stations.
Yeah. And this shot here of the wolf just creeping in at the bottom.
Yes, you just see it just enough.
Yeah.
You know, it's at his feet by the time the camera cuts back to it coming in.
And it's almost like, Landis had kind of looked at Jaws and thought, that's what I need to do. I don't need to show the wolf at all until the dying moments of the film, and even then you get to see less of the wolf than you do of Bruce in Jaws.
Yes, definitely. A naked American stole my balloons. Yes, imagine being chased by that bastard.
It's nice to see some different names to what I'm used to.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Different people here. And his keep his wang hidden pose. It's like, as a werewolf, does he have a wolf dick?
Like a lipstick.
I think there's apart from Monster Squad, he's got nards. But he's wearing trousers in that one. I think it was the David Norton film, werewolf film, where one werewolf does sexually assault a woman. But I can't remember what it was. Let me look it up.
Yeah, this is again that sequence there where he wakes up with the wolves and just escapes. I mean, whether they'd had those wolves in the freezer for a few hours just to cool them down and settle them, but yeah, they must have been just fed. Hey, Barry.
Big bad wolf. There he is.
How are you doing, buddy? Good to see you. I caught the first 40 minutes or so of your stream earlier today, Barry. Good to see you back, buddy. After your little
hiatus.
Yeah, your little hiatus. And he had the Welsh guys on as well, the Twisted Locker guys. Have you met them guys yet?
No.
Oh, you should check out their website. They're two guys from Caerphilly, is it? I think, maybe?
Ruined my joke there. How do Welsh people eat their cheese? But yes, Big Bad Wolf is the film where I think where is he? It's got Richard Tyson somewhere. Clint Howard, of course.
Clint Howard.
David Norton as the sheriff, yes. And then that one does have a wolf dick. It is. I'll give you £2, which was a lot of money back then. A lot of sweets. Penny sweets back then. I don't know how much a quarter of sweets would be. Good to be back. Here we go. Nice.
One of mine and Frank's favorite lines in the movie here coming up when he's at the bus stop with the red coat on.
Let's see what else we got there. What magazines have we got? There's a lot of ladies in with their legs showing.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to see what we got there.
Where's my Monster Squad VHS gone? Trying to keep anything safe right now. Talking of Bush, the singing Bush from John Landis's Three Amigos.
Yeah. Talking of that, of Three Amigos, have you seen Only Murders in the Building?
I've seen the first 3 seasons. I know I usually wait till they finish the season before I watch it all.
Yeah, that's terrific. The 4th series is just brilliant as well.
Cool. It's good to see it's keeping its level.
So there's a very British conversation here that he's engaging in. A lot of weather we've been having lately.
We do like to talk about the weather. Well, how is the weather with you, Darren?
At the moment, because I'm working in London and it's hot at the moment. And coming out, I live by the sea in Essex, and once you get back out there, it's a bit cooler. But it's there's a lot of weather we've been having right now at the moment.
It was nice, yes. I was able to be out in the garden earlier this week in the night. But yeah, thunderstorm.
You've been doing some outdoor stuff.
Yes. It always seems like a good idea, but then about halfway through it, the bugs.
And Mad About Nuts lives in Essex as well. Okay.
There you go.
It's huge, though. You can drive for another.
Well, exactly. Essex is
hour and a half.
You can't see your neighbours. You'll pass each other in the street. Oh, there's 20 degrees in Glasgow. Yeah, for the middle of September.
Indian summer in Glasgow at the moment.
Oh, yeah, maybe he's frisky. Is David with you?
He is, and this is him. He's like full of energy and, ready to go.
Is he rational? Yeah, he woke up in the zoo naked, but I'm still going to shag him.
So he was around about 30, nearly, I guess around about 30 when he did this film. Was David Norton? Because I think he's in his 70s now.
Makes sense.
It would be good to see her do a convention, and I think there'd be a lot of love for her, particularly in the UK. Especially for one last kind of, if David does get better and can come back over next year, it'd be good to get the 3 of them, and even just get the 4 of them together.
Yeah. He was born in 1951, it says.
Yeah, so he's 73 right now. Yeah,
someone with maths.
He was 30 when he made this film. Yeah.
Because was it in one of the American Werewolf, Paris ones, is that it's her daughter is the French werewolf.
Yes. Yeah.
Because they see a dead nurse. She sees a dead nurse, so she killed her mother.
Yeah. But
they never really follow on with that, apart from a brief mention. And then the great Bricktop.
Alan
Ford,
yeah. Bricktop from Snatch. Driver.
He's in Strippers versus Werewolves as well.
He is. And he's in The Long Good Friday as well.
Yes.
Favorite films of all time.
What's the other one? Zombies. Cockneys versus Zombies.
Great
Richard Bryars.
Great movies. And this is all different now. This is part of London now, pedestrianised. It's you can drive around parts of Trafalgar Square, but majority of it is all pedestrianised now.
Yeah. Look, kids, Big Ben.
I was walking through there today, actually.
Yeah. Were you shouting about Prince Charles being
No. Queen Elizabeth is a man. That's
like people said, if he really wanted to get arrested, he would punch the copper. But then,
and this copper here was an actor from TV series in the UK called The Bill, who was one of the chief inspectors, I think, in The Bill, wasn't it?
I only know Burnside. I can't remember any of the others.
Yeah, no, he was one of the. He didn't have a beard in The Bill, but he was a lot older and more senior.
Right.
He just sounds he just shouts some really kind of some serious swear.
Shakespeare's French. He's asking for it now.
Yeah.
Oh yes, he come on. Oh, there you go. Everyone's
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he plays Bricktop in everything, doesn't he? Chief Superintendent, he was the head honcho. There you go.
Not Tosh, Michael Myers says. No, not Tosh. No. Kevin Lloyd. Kevin Lloyd, yeah.
But yes, there we go. Feed the pigeons, tuppence a bag.
Actually, I may well drag Frank through here when he arrives, because I've got to take him from Paddington to my house in Essex. So I think we may stop off and walk through Trafalgar. Yeah, it's actually, we can do it fairly quickly actually on the journey back. So
good.
No, it wasn't Burnside. It was
no, it was just
or Bob Cryer. It wasn't him.
Bob Cryer, yes.
Look at that Granada near there, knocking them over nearly.
Yes, those things were massive,
wide,
like American cars.
Savoy 1984 says, "I'm at work watching this." Thank you, buddy. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, tuning in and spending your time with us when you should be working. I'm sure that heart operation can go well if you're distracted.
And Sally says, "Back when London was safe." I agree. Yeah. You could shout things like Queen Elizabeth is a man and not get arrested.
You got your soapbox. But yeah, this is how I remember Piccadilly Circus, when it wasn't just all sweet shops, American sweet shops. Because when Landis wrote this originally, the cinemas in Piccadilly Circus were showing cartoons. And then by the time which was in the 60s, and then by the time he got to film it in the 80s, there was porno theaters everywhere.
I mean, I've worked in this area now for 25 years nearly, something like that. So my office was at the back of Piccadilly Circus. We've now recently moved to Paddington, but every day for my working life, I would walk through Leicester Square and Trafalgar Square and Piccadilly Circus on the route from the train to the office. So it was great, just kind of like every time I would walk through there, I'd just look around and think, Jesus Christ, all those years ago, they shut this place down for 2 nights. I couldn't imagine how they did it. You know, how they got the permission, how they were able to coordinate it in such a way.
Exactly. It was crazy.
Get all that footage and assemble such an amazing sequence. I know a lot of it was shot up at Shepperton as well, but still, to be able to do that, it's just incredible. Really is.
Well, yeah, because apparently they didn't have permission at first from the police, but then Landis did a private showing for 3. Oh, he's showing off again. Look at this. Landis had a.
Can I get it in shot here?
So this is my,
London picture here. Of Piccadilly Circus, and if you look very carefully,
hang on,
at the back of the bus, you can see the wolf in the street there.
Nice.
Yeah, it's done like one of those tourist posters. But yeah, it was a limited run, I think.
It's very nice. Yeah, Landis put on a show, a private screening for 300 police officers of Blues Brothers to show how he did the action shots in Chicago, and then they agreed to let him have the 2 nights if he cleared up quickly.
Yeah. And Frank loves this story about when the head gets bitten off and rolled into the street. Someone actually went missing. They lost the head. Someone obviously took it and flit one night, and the poor chief inspector's head went missing.
Someone's got a nice treat. But then there was where they were setting up the shot for the head. It was the director said, right, telling the guys, the English guys, right, when throw the head on the hood of the car, and then they stood there looking at him blankly. On the bonnet.
Yeah. There's a few shots if you look at the extras of them trying to get them throwing the head at the bonnet of the car and trying to get that perfect moment where it bounces and rolls off. It took a number of takes, I think.
Yes, there's no way you could get that exact on the first one. So here we go, TNA again. So this is the first thing they shot. They shot most of the film in sequence, but Landis shot the porno scenes first for some reason.
Yeah.
So I guess it would be ready for when. Well, one to give time to the special effects crews to make their models and stuff, so give him something to do, and then
Lindsay Drew. I mean, the plot.
I don't know who she is.
Better than any plot in a porno I've ever seen, I think.
Well, Jack's enjoying it. Yeah, that's a nice touch where he scratches his nose.
Yeah. Yeah, they're usually not this in depth.
Not you twit her. Never seen you before in my life. Hang on, I'm distracted. Oh, I'm sorry. Of course, I don't know anything about the Raymond Review place behind Piccadilly Circus.
Oh yeah, I mean that was there for. I think it's still there. I think I'll have to check the next time I wander through Soho, but I believe it's still there. I mean, there's a lot of clip joints around Soho where you can go in and you'll never see your wallet again. You know what I mean?
Like free drink minimum 50 quid.
Yeah,
back in the 80s.
I think the Raymond Review Bar is one of those that's kind of such a tourist attraction. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of world famous that I think it's more. If it's still there, I haven't worked in Soho now for about 2 or 3 years. But if it is still there, it's it was always one of those places that I think was fairly safe to go to.
Yeah, I would wander around there at night.
Oh, Ian Grant said it's now shut and become something else. I'm guessing COVID killed it off then, because
yes,
our office closed literally like 2 weeks before COVID, and we were due to move to Paddington to the Sony offices there after the Easter, and we never ended up going there until like 2021 or 22 or something like that. So I don't really go around Soho as much as I used to. I was there today, but I certainly didn't go looking for the Raymond Review Bar.
Well, yes, it's a bit different these days, I guess. There's not so many of the places, I guess, as noticeable.
Yeah.
Hang on. No, we missed the music. Sorry. I don't know if Elmer Bernstein did the music for the porno. We'll have to ask Darren that.
No, it wasn't. It's by a band called. I have it on my YouTube playlist. 1 second.
For the mood music.
It's called.
So yes, we got puppets and plenty of claret.
It's called. Let me see. I think someone may have removed it. 1 second.
How dare they? You murdered or not dead? The undead were in limbo. Because that's one of the things in the Paris one. When he's been bitten by her, he can see her mum, which is she killed. So I'm guessing.
Yeah.
If those other werewolves have got killed hundreds of Americans from the raves, they must be surrounded by people constantly.
Let me see if I can find this for you. I can't believe it would go. It would. American Werewolf.
Just put a gun to your forehead and pull the trigger. Thank you. Because that phone call in the phone box is pretty sad, isn't it?
It is when he tries his wrist, and her attitude in this sequence here, it's just she's so nonchalant about the whole thing, isn't she? It's just like she's genuinely trying to help him with a big smile on her face.
Right. Yes, because it's all there's Skull. There's the Skull ad. Videos from JVC. That's all what's it? LED light. Oh shit. See, no one told me about the tits.
You got it, You've been caught out with that in terms of YouTube dinging you or anything?
No, luckily. Oh, he's changing.
Do you hear
it? Of all the sweaty men in the cinema.
Yeah, that guy just standing above him, just staring down is...
Yeah, judging. I do see Sally says the same thing. Tickets, Stalls and Circle, £2.60. Skull. Yeah, Skull was not a good beer. I don't know if it's still going. Oh, there's more tests. Hang on. Yes. Oh, yes, it's 81, so it would have been Video Nasties, wouldn't it? Like this film was.
It wasn't actually. I think it got away with it. It wasn't actually ever.
I was surprised that it was because it did based on pictures, like Driller Killer.
Yeah, I think it managed to get away with it
as well. Now, isn't he? Yeah, this is a cop from Bill.
He's the cop. That was Gallagher from the Bill.
The ginger one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn the Blue Iris says cop's tit on the screen.
Should I hide that? Oh, yeah, there we get a good look at the werewolf again. And then, yep, fuck, shut the doors.
Yeah, Ian Grant, that's a great line. Carnivorous lunar activities.
Now, apparently, all these people, I think, outside aren't. Some of them were real passers-by, I think. And
oh, really?
Some of them are just extras, but then none of them were told what's coming out of that door. So their reaction's real when that wolf thing comes through.
Piccadilly was a sleazy old place back in the day, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, video shop, bookshop, porno shop.
All those Rover police cars as well.
Oh, yes, the classics.
Is the Cortina? Was it Cortina pulling up there that they get out of?
I don't like it. Oh, there, the wolf's through. Straight onto his head.
It's a great shot. And this whole sequence here is just kind of
it's carnage,
50 seconds or so of just absolute chaos.
Yeah, people falling off a bus. There's Rocky on the bike sliding. There's people falling out the bus. Then he gets run over.
You interviewed him recently, right?
Yeah, it didn't go very well because it was over the phone.
Yeah, the audio, I listened to it, but the audio was a bit kind of... Yeah.
It's a shame. Oh, there's John Landis. He was the bearded bloke that got slammed into the glass and pushed the woman through the window. Yeah,
that's right. The guy going through the windscreen as well. I was going to ask you, because is Roy Allen still alive? The stunt guy.
Yeah.
He did a lot of stuff in the Superman movies.
Yes, Roy. Good old... Roy Orbison.
Roy Allen. I think it's ALON. Roy Allen, stuntman.
Right. If I could type, it might help.
He's the guy that's pulled out of the car that fills up with water in Superman 3. And he was a big British guy as well. He was in a lot of British
he was from Leeds.
Action pictures.
Passed away in 2006, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
Okay.
It was tipping as well.
Tipping, yeah. His name was on everything British stunt-wise, but he died in the 90s, I think.
Oh, really?
Mm.
And then there was the guy who was injured in the Death Wish film.
Oh, that was Rocky.
Was that Rocky, right?
That's Rocky Taylor, yeah. Michael Winner was the reason the police didn't want this happening, because he was filming a film. I can't remember. It's not one I've heard of Michael Winner. He was filming a film in London, or it could have been in Piccadilly, and he set off a massive smoke bomb without permission. Of course, like he does everything. And then they set off this bomb, massive smoke bomb in Piccadilly. And then he grabbed the film and camera after it was done, and he drove away. And then everyone else that was left behind got arrested for setting off this bloody bomb.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
wow.
Oh, here we go.
Here we get. We're getting to the end here now, where I've been to this actual alleyway here as well.
Where is it? Is it round Piccadilly or is it?
It's further south of the West End of Soho.
So how does she not get shot in this barrage?
Yeah, how did she manage to get away through a whole
the best
SWAT team of... But it is, I mean, Frank and I always talk about this bit as well at the end here, when you get that moment where she's pleading with the wolf It's almost like for a moment there, he's listening to her, and his face changes as if it's kind of realizing David kind of comes through for a split second before he kind of the instinct takes over and he's shot to death. Yeah.
Now, other people after that, they think he jumps on her on purpose because he knows he's going to be shot, and he knows that's the only way to end it.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Everything happens so quickly in that split second. Look, he's kind of listening now, but it's when the kind of the grimace drops for a split second.
Yeah.
Look there.
Yeah. They just
she's got through to him, and then no, it's bang. It's like, instinct takes over, and he goes for her, and
then it's just a naked man
again. Yeah.
Covering his legs just right enough.
Yeah.
And a merkin. But yeah, he now, I guess the other sequels, I know John Landis had sequels in mind when he made this, but how many people got scratched or just bitten in that massacre at the end?
Do you know what? I mean, there's stuff in there as a kid watching that Piccadilly sequence. There's things in there that I'd never seen before. I'm talking about being an 11-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And, you're seeing people getting thrown through car windscreens. You're seeing people getting run over. There's people underneath cars getting flattened. There's people going out of the windows of the top deck of a bus. It's just absolute chaos and carnage. And it was one of the things that kind of really attracted me to this film, was that whole kind of 50-second sequence or whatever it is. How much devastation happens within this 1 minute, and in this small area. And as a kid, the old Roy Allen was one of those.
Roy Allen.
Yeah. It is. It's such a great sequence, and it's such a amazing selling point as well. If you ever want to sell, forget the transformation. Everybody knows about that. But if you ever need another sequence to get people on board with this film, just show them that sequence there. It's incredible.
Yeah. Because it does say at the end, what does it say? Congratulations on the upcoming marriage, doesn't it, to Prince Charles and Lady Diana coming up after slagging him off in the film.
Yeah.
Special makeups.
Well, this was fun.
Yes.
I haven't watched it for a little while, so apologies about my audio at the start. Thank you to Roddy for correcting me with it. Is your mic on?
One of them was on.
Yeah. I have 5 mics in here, and I couldn't get the right one on.
Yes, there you go. The tribute, living dead or undead. So Miss Piggy and Kermit the Frog as themselves.
Have you ever seen Franco's recently?
No.
I watched him being in oh God, what was it? Was he in?
I think what's he done?
I think he might. Was it in Only Murders in the Building or something? Or oh, he was in something. Oh, he was being interviewed in something that I watched. That was it. And he doesn't sound or look like we remember Frank Oz whatsoever. I mean, he's an older man now, but I can't see that guy in this film, the guy from the embassy that comes to interview Kessler, in this old guy that Frank Oz is now. And he doesn't have that hi. He doesn't have
he always sounds like Fozzie Bear, regardless.
Almost Fozzie Bear-like voice. He doesn't have that anymore. It was weird. But he's still alive and well, so good for him.
Yeah, where is he?
And salute to John Woodvine. 95 is he or whatever?
Yeah, definitely 90s.
Wow.
People keep asking me if he's going to write a book. I don't want to write a book. That's too hard.
Who's going to write a book?
Frank Oz's website. He's got his own website.
Oh, okay.
That's the only thing it says.
I don't want to write a book. It's too hard.
Yes. But then he says just to check him out. I think he's on Twitter. That's about the only place he's
Good old Frank. Well, thank you for this. This was fun. Thank you very much for the invite.
No worries. It's very enjoyable.
And thanks to all the people. I mean, at one point, there was over 20 people in here watching. So thanks to everybody that joined.
Oh, hang on. So one last question. There's a good one. He might be biased.
Yes. Of course. I can't. A lot of people kind of compare it to, The Howling and that, but The Howling has dated so much to the point where there's kind of like they used animation in the film at one point.
Animation.
I still love The Howling, and I do wonder what would have happened, with that kind of switcheroo that they did between Bettine and Rick Baker.
Yes.
I wonder what would have happened. I mean, they're both gods in the VFX world, the makeup world, whatever you want to call it. But I just think that Bettine was just that little bit too young at the time to pull off something like this.
Yeah.
It's Rick Baker's work on it got him the Oscar. What was the movie that kind of triggered that visual of? Oh, it was The Elephant Man, wasn't it? It was because of The Elephant Man that they brought in the makeup effects Oscar and passed it. Sorry, and because of that, Rick Baker won.
Yeah, because it says on here, special effects expert deserves an Oscar. It says the Sunday Mail,
and then it says he won.
1982 Academy Awards.
They could have just said Academy Award winner Rick Baker or something on there, couldn't they?
But yeah, got good reviews from the Sunday Mail and the Sunday Telegraph. But not everyone loved it when it came out.
Michael Myers says needed a Sybil Danning boob flash compilation though. I think you're going to get that this Saturday. Is it this Saturday?
This Saturday. 18 times if we count the bit in the middle.
Is that how many times she does it? Sturber.
Yeah, she signed on to
Jimmy Nail in that film as well.
Do one scene, and she said, "Fine, one topless scene," and then they show it 17 times in the end credits.
I was just saying, isn't Jimmy Nail in that film as well?
He is.
There's a few, isn't there?
Jimmy Nail. There's a few of them because it was in Eastern Europe. Eastern Europe at the time.
Isn't it like Hungary or Bulgaria or somewhere like that where they filmed it? I think it was
before it was fashionable to film films that are cheap.
Yeah. Pixel Morph, Pixel Brian Glover here, back from the stream.
Oh yes, there he is.
I'm dead and loving the stream. Thank you, Pixel Morph.
Teen Wolf, I forgot about Teen Wolf. Second best.
Teen Wolf. Wow. Yeah.
Not Teen Wolf 2. It depends how you like your sexy werewolves or not. But yes. Well, I'll let this go because it's late here in the UK.
It is, and I've got to work in the morning. I've still got to go and see my wife.
And you've only just got home before this started. So
I haven't seen my wife yet. I'm going to have to go downstairs and probably talk to her. So do all those hobby things.
Indeed. Oh, well, yes. We'll keep it clean. Right. Okay. Thanks for everyone. Thanks to Dazza.
Thank you.
A long time coming, but we'll say goodnight. And I'll see you tomorrow night for Monster Movies on VHS. And then Howling too for some reason. Right. Good night.
Thank you, guys. Cheers.